Hey girl, hey, welcome to Tia's Table, where we talk about food, fitness, wellness for women, and whatever we feel is worth discussing. Thank you for joining me at my table. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's have some girl talk. Hey girl, hey, welcome back to another episode of Tia's Table. So excited that school is finally over. The last day of school for my children was yesterday, and so this morning I woke up with no alarm clock. I was able to slowly rise out of bed. I was able to take my time and drink my coffee, do a little dilly-dallying on the internet. I updated my website, or I attempted to update my website, work on some things. I went over to the sauna. The sauna was broke, but you know what? I wasn't even mad about it. I wasn't even mad about it because you know what? I said I have the whole day to figure out another plan for how I'm going to sweat. I came back home, went for a walk, ate some lunch, took my time throughout the day to just enjoy the rain. Things feel different when school is out. Okay. Things feel easier. It feels like Saturday air every day when there is no school. Or maybe that is just me because I'm just so happy to finally be on summer break. I'm going to soak up these next 9 weeks because let me tell you something. I know school starts back bright and early on August 3rd. I know that date is coming for me. And I know when we start school again in August, it is going to be it is going to be balls to the walls with all the things and the activities and the pay this fee, the pay that fee. They need this, they need that. And it's going to be back to being all on me. And a part of me is very excited for it. I think I will have a whole new appreciation for it when we start school in August. But at the same time, now that I have seen what life is like on the other side of not having to do all of the things, girl, I'm going to try to really enjoy this summer and get as much rest as I possibly can because what do you even mean? What do you even mean they only get 9 weeks out for a summer break? I feel like that's not long enough. I feel like they need a smooth 12. Like we could really use a smooth 12 weeks out of school. That would be just enough time for you to take them somewhere, expose them to some stuff, do some things with them, spend time with family, go see family that doesn't necessarily live close to you, give them some downtime. Maybe that would give them some time to actually explore some other things that they might have some type of interest in. You could quite possibly take them to do something else and then do the whole back to school thing if summer break was just a little bit longer. But I know that's probably not a popular opinion. It's probably not the most popular, but let me tell you one thing about me. I'm always going to be here for a school break. And I don't care what kind of break it is. It could be summer break, fall break, Thanksgiving break, semester break, which is really Christmas break. Then they get another winter break, spring break, MLK Day, Labor Day, whatever day they can be out of school, like I'm always so happy to have them home and not over there where they do really good and they excel and like that's fine. I love that for them. But having to remember so many things for so many children is mentally draining. And I just appreciate the break. So, girl, it's summer break. What's tea? What's good? Do you want to go meet for a margarita? Do you want to go get some tacos? Do you want to go dilly dally in Home Goods? What do you want to do? You want to go meet me and sit in the sauna? You want to do a workout? You want to come to Pilates? They just emailed me and told me that someday in June is Bring Your Bestie to Pilates Day. Like, what are these summer plans? What is everybody doing for summer? You know, for summer, some of the things that I would like to do, I would really like to try to organize my little self, pull myself back together so that when school does start back up in August, I have a better like flow and rhythm to my day for how I plan to do a lot of the creative things that I want to do and put out. So there's that, which is why I went ahead and started working on my website today. So there's that. But also, like I have said on the past couple of calls, like, girl, I'm trying to bake. I'm trying to do so many things. My husband reminded me today, we were watching something on TV and the person had a guitar. And he was like, girl, when you gonna pull that guitar back out? And I was like, as soon as I can find someone to teach me some lessons, you mind your own business over there. So yeah, I'm like, I need to pull that guitar out and see what she working with. Like, there are so many things I want to do. I want to go out and be outside, which I have been going outside every day. Like I've been going for walks. So in the literal sense, I have been outside walking, jogging, running, getting all the fresh air. A mosquito ate me alive one day this week, and I have no less than 5 mosquito bites right now. I think I have 3 on my right leg and 2 on my left. So I've been spending time outside. I've been watching my peach tree produce all of the peaches. There are so many peaches on that thing. You would have never known that it was, that it's a container tree because my goodness, I have a lot of peaches. I'm excited about that. But also, like I want to go out and be a lady who's out and about. My daughter and I went to lunch yesterday. We went to an Indian restaurant that I had seen on TikTok. Girl, that food was so good. That food was so good. It was a 10 out of 10. Even my leftovers today, when I warmed them up, 10 out of 10. We will be going back. We will not be dining in that establishment anymore. Like, we will not be sitting down inside the restaurant eating anymore. And it was one of those things where as you're driving up to it, you're like, oh, TikTok didn't say nothing about this location. And I'm not even afraid of a location. You feel me? Like I'm not afraid of a location. I will eat in the most biggest hole or tiny like hole in the wall you've ever seen. But this location wasn't my favorite. Wasn't my favorite. When you get inside, there's a sign that says, like, there is no table service. You can eat in here. Like, you are more than welcome to get your food and eat in here, but we don't do table service. So we're going to call your name. You can come get this food. You can sit back down. You can eat. But if you need a refill, you're going to have to come back up to this counter and buy another drink because we don't do that over here. And since we had like gotten dressed and like I had made a big deal out of taking her out to lunch, I was like, well, like we gotta eat in here because I, what am I gonna say? Like, girl, we getting this food to go because I don't want to sit over here. So I was like, no, don't be bougie, Tia. Sit down, because the place was really clean. It was just the location of the place, right? So we sit down, we're eating our food, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. We're definitely going to eat here again. And before I could even say it, my daughter was like, oh, but we'll get it to go. Like, we'll do a pickup. We'll call it in, come inside and pick it up, and then we'll take it back to our house. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, girl, because this place, think of somewhere you would just not want to be. And I don't want to get this confused with like a really good like hood spot. This was not that. This was not that. And I would have preferred it. And this is what I was telling my best friend about the place. I was like, I would have preferred it had it been like that. Because then you would be at ease. Like, you would be at ease. You would be surrounded by your people. Things are calm. Everybody is minding their own business, eating and whatever. This location was really like probably one of the um worst places that this restaurant could be because the food is so good that it's kind of like, dang, I wish y'all were somewhere, just somewhere else where you could actually sit down in here and eat. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm trying to do more of that, but just in places where I can actually dine in. And let me tell you, how I know they really don't want you to sit down in there and eat is because if you say you're going to sit down in there and eat, they give you your food in the to-go containers already, and they give you paper plates and plastic cutlery, and they say, have at it, which lets me know y'all really don't want people sitting down in here because y'all don't even have real plates and real silverware. So I got it. Duly noted. You don't have to worry about me. The next time I come over here to get some food, I will be getting it and taking it home, just like I'm watching everyone else do. Because, baby, they had a flow of traffic. The restaurant is busy. They're not hurting. They don't need us to sit down in there and eat because they're making that money regardless, right? So I said, I'm going to be like everybody else. And when I come back, because I'm definitely coming back, when I come back, I'm getting this food to go. So yeah, that was great. And I'm trying to do more of that all summer. See the places that I think are interesting or see the places that I think would be really good. And I'm trying to dine at all of the establishments. Yesterday, so that was lunch yesterday. Yesterday, because I think my little outfit was just so cute. My husband was like, "Oh, well, like we got to go out for something because like you look so cute in your little outfit. I don't want that outfit to go to waste. So now I have to take you somewhere." And to be honest with you, I was done. Like I was quite overstimulated from the first date I had had earlier that day, my daughter, and I probably could have just stayed home and been quite happy. I didn't need to go another place. But he was like, "Oh no, let me take you over here to this restaurant where they have the little drinks you like." And I said, "Okay, bet we go." They were having jazz night that night, which, I love jazz music. A saxophone is always welcomed here in my musical heart. I love it. But it, but the habit that these restaurants in the metro Atlanta area have of turning everything into something that it doesn't need to be, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. And it's not even the musical choice, because normally this place be playing like the ratchet music. So I was very surprised and very happy for the jazz, for the R&B twist they were doing yesterday. And the fact that it was like a live saxophonist, I was like, "Oh yes, I love this switch up." But they have got to start controlling how loud the speakers are. Like they just have to. "Baby, turn it down." Because I'm sitting next to him at this table and I can't hear a word he's saying. And he's talking. And he's talking. And I can't hear a word. Cannot hear a word. There is a fine line between creating ambiance and things being so loud that it's like it's too much. And at this particular restaurant, they crossed the line of the noise just being so much that when we leave there, I'm always exhausted. I can't go nowhere after we leave there. And so we got in the car. So we got in the car and he was like, "Do you mind if we make a stop? I need to buy like a sports coat or like a suit jacket or whatever for work." And I said, "I guess because we're already out, we can go, but I'm at my wit's end because I just sat through that, whatever that was, they were playing nothing but the hits. So I got to give it to him. He was killing it. That saxophone was playing all the songs we know, like all the songs, Frankie Beverly and Mays, Anita Baker, who else? I don't know, but all the songs he was playing them and he was hitting it. It was good. It was just too loud. So yeah, I was like, "Well, I'm already I'm a little ready to go home, but if you have to get a jacket today, or if you feel like this is an errand you need to run right now, I suppose since we're already out, let's do it." So we go, we try on every 42 long, or is it 44 long? I don't know, one of them. We try on all of them, everyone, every color. "Oh, do you like this one? Do you like that one? What is this one? What is that one? Is that a 44 long? Is that a 42 long? Is it a regular? Is it a long?" And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm full. I was full 6 hours ago when I ate Indian with that baby. I done sat here and ate Mexican with you. I done had my little margarita swirl because I love those. And I just need you to pick out any of these shades of blue, because let's face it, we know that's what you're going to pick. Pick out any one of these shades of blue that you don't already have. Get it in whatever size long you need. Let's pay these people and get out of here." Like, let's pay them and go. I'm ready. So by the time we got home yesterday, last night, when I mean to tell you I crashed. And even though I kind of complain about it on the other side of it, I feel like those are the kind of days I really want to have all summer long. Like, wear me out, summer. Wear me out, summer. I want you to turn me every which way but loose. I want to have all of the fun, but also get all of the rest. But on the days where I choose to rest and do nothing, I really want to like indulge in the resting of it. So, what are you doing for summer? What are your plans? What are your vibes? What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Share that with me, and you can message me on Instagram at Tia's Table Podcast and let me know. Before we get into the rest of this mess that I want to talk about today, let's talk about what is on my table. Now, I made Logan's cucumber salad and I switched out that smoked salmon for the chickpeas. 10 out of 10, would do it again. We'll probably do it again real soon. It was delicious. It is right up there with that salami salad situation from last week. Another salad has been coming across my timeline recently is some type of steak, cucumber, tomato, something. And I really want to try that salad, but also just a few things. Number one, I don't know what cut of steak they're using for that recipe. I would have to look that up and see. But I feel as if, and this is again, this could just be me, and someone feel free to correct me if I'm thinking about this the wrong way. But I'm kind of like, oh, if I'm going to buy steak, because steak is not as cheap as it used to be by any stretch of the imagination. If I buy steak, I want to eat it like it was meant to be. Like, I want to consume the steak in the way steak was meant to be consumed. I don't know that I want to be chopping it up and mixing it in a salad. And yeah, mm-mm. And then I'm pretty sure the salad probably makes so much that then I'm coming back the next day and I'm eating, I don't know. Something about the steak one, it's like I want to try it because it does look good. And all of the comments under the video always says nothing but good things about it. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, ooh, but do you really want to do that? Or if you want steak, why don't you just buy one and eat it and then make the little salad on the side? I don't know. And if you've seen that steak salad, you know what I'm talking about. A friend of mine sent me a Caesar salad pizza that sounds really promising. So that's something that's on my radar. And then I want to say there was also like a Caesar salad taco situation that is also in my food queue. So those are all things that I've seen on the internet lately that I definitely want to try, along with my long list of things to make from Barefoot Contessa's cookbooks. Now, something that I had been looking for in the store for like well over a month because I saw it online. I saw someone try it and review it. They said it was good. So I started looking every time I went in Kroger. I was like, do they have it? Do they have it? And they never had it, never had it, never had it. Well, one day last week, I happened to be in Kroger and I said, let me go over here and check and see if they have restocked this private selection crunchy sushi that you cook in the air fryer that's supposed to be like so good. Girl, when I mean to tell you, you could have bought me with $1 when I saw them 2 boxes of frozen sushi in that frozen section. It was 2 left. I grabbed them so fast. I grabbed both of them because I said, "Oh, just in case it's good, we're not going through no mess with nobody. Just in case it's good, I'm going to have another one already ready to go in my freezer." So I get home, I put it in my air fryer. I take it out. And when I took it out of the air fryer, I could already tell it was going to be promising because of how it felt. So I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and slice it as if it is sushi. And it came with 2 different dipping sauces that I guess you could have poured on top of them the way, sushi comes sometimes with the sauce already on them. But I did not want to do that. I like to dip so that I can control how much of that stuff I'm actually eating. And when I took my first bite, I said, "Oh, baby, first of all, the fact that this is only $4.99, the fact that this is only $4.99 I feel like I should gatekeep it and I should not tell anybody about it, how good it is, which obviously people must know how good it is because once it's out of stock, it takes them forever to get it back in. And it literally was out of stock for forever. So clearly other people know because when I bought mine, there was only two left. However, when I mean to tell you it was so good, I sat straight up in my seat. And see, there are two varieties of this frozen sushi. One is like a crunchy California roll, which is the one they happen to have in stock the day that I found it. But the other one is like a crunchy salmon roll. And I want to say that one is supposed to be spicy. If I ever get my hands on the salmon roll, I'm going to buy whatever they have in stock. I don't even know how many that little sleeve, because they had them like in a sleeve, and the last two boxes were like at the end, right? So I don't know how many boxes come in that little, but whatever is there when I find that salmon, I'm buying all of them because that is how good it was. I am not above buying sushi from the grocery store, especially if I happen to be there while they are freshly like making it. I'm gonna do it every time, especially if I happen to be in Publix, because I'm not gonna hold you. Grocery store sushi does have a hierarchy, and like most things, Publix is just better. Publix got almost better all fresh foods. They got the fresh hot food that's really good. Their hot bar is great. Their subs are great. Their salads are excellent. Their sushi, delicious. You know what I'm saying? This right here, though, and I know, because you're like, oh, but it came out of the frozen section. I don't care. When I mean to tell you it was good, it was so good that I said to myself, oh, if there is ever a time where I say to myself, I want sushi, and I come over here to the grocery store because I don't feel like driving all the way to the real sushi place, or my preferred sushi place is over in an area that's so congested that I don't even do that to myself, right? So I'm like, let me go up here, grab me some sushi, it'll be what it's gonna be. I will definitely start checking this frozen section first before I buy whatever it is they got. Or maybe I would do a mix. Like I would go back there and check for that. Because see, the crunchy sushi that they have in the little grocery store section, to me, is not better than the frozen thing that I just made in my air fryer. It's not better. But the other kind of sushi that they make is good. So like the raw tuna rolls, or your raw salmon, that all that stuff, that's great. We love that for what it is. But this right here, that was $4.99. Oh, oh, like I have a box in my freezer right now waiting for me to stop talking to you so that I can air fry it and have it for dinner. Because my kids tonight wanted a combination of Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. So they're very happy with what they have selected. My husband said he was going to eat something that was already in the refrigerator. And I said, good, great. So will I. Because what I know is that I have a box of frozen sushi down in the bottom, all the way to the back of that freezer. And I'm going to air fry it. The directions say to do it for 10, but I'm going to do it for 11. Going to do it for 11. I'm going to pour myself a nice glass of one of these wines that I just found at Costco yesterday. And I'm going to have myself a good little dinner tonight. Do you hear me? Because also the portion is perfect. The little rolls, you get two of them in a box, and they are the perfect size. So you will actually be satisfied when you're done eating this. Like it's just enough. You won't feel stuffed, but you definitely will no longer be hungry. And since I had my leftovers from the Indian restaurant for lunch today, I'm not like starving. So this will be like the perfect dinner for me, and I'm so excited. So I say all that to say, if you live near Kroger, or a Kroger like partner, like Fred Meyer, whatever those other grocery stores are called, girl, go over to that frozen section, see if y'all have that private selection crunchy sushi, buy it, air fry it, and have yourself a good little time. Have yourself a good little time, because my goodness, that was delicious. Okay, enough about that. I feel like it was a lot about that, but enough about it. You guys, I finally saw You, Me, and Tuscany. I bought it on a streaming service, bought it from Prime. I sat, I watched, and on the first viewing of it, I was like, well, this is not at all what I was expecting. It was a cute movie, very cute. But I'm like, oh, I thought this movie was okay, not the movie necessarily, because obviously we knew who her love interest was going to be. I just thought we would have arrived at the love interest differently. I feel like that trailer, the movie's trailer, definitely hoodwinked me. I was going into that movie, I was going into that movie expecting something completely different. So let's talk about it because I have watched the movie more than once. So I feel like I can give a fair review of Yumi and Tuscany. First of all, let's just state the obvious. I love Halle Bailey. She can do no wrong. Anytime she makes anything, I'ma see it. I'm gonna watch it. So let's just start there. This is not a review about Halle Bailey because I know how people like to get in my messages and almost be trying to tussle. And let me tell you, with the way I'm training these days, these fingers can tussle. They can keyboard tussle a whole lot right now. So this is not a review about Hallie because we love her, right? This is a review mainly for Will Packard. And first of all, why did you have her character be somebody who was I guess not I guess, but she was a liar, she was deceitful, she was a house sitter that was basically stealing. Well, not really, well, no, it was stealing. If you take it out the people's house, even though she was putting it back, no, she wasn't paying her rent. When she ordered that cheeseburger at the bar, she had to give them like 4 or 5 different credit cards, which means our girl wasn't really good with her money, even though she had a job. Like, if she was house sitting, but I guess house sitting doesn't pay, it must not pay that much because, yeah, like she couldn't buy food, she could not pay her rent, or she just was not paying her rent. She had $500 saved up and decided, yeah, I'm gonna go to Italy after I met this guy at the bar. I'm going to go over there with $500 to my name. I'm not going to make any hotel reservations before I go, though. Like, I'm not going to Google anything for real, but like, I'm going. So you get over to Italy, find out that this big festival is happening. So all the rooms are booked. There's no room in the inn for our little mermaid. So she's literally out in the street. She orders a sandwich at a little sandwich shop, or she was about to, when her love interest, homeboy from Bridgerton, comes in, and before she can order the sandwich, he orders it, and it happens to be the last one. So they kind of get into it in the street a little bit over the sandwich, and there's a joke in there about how, like, you should be being nicer to me because we're the only, and then I think he finishes her sentence and he says, the only people that speak English. And she's like, yeah, and I'm like, really, because really, y'all are kind of the only Black people there for the whole movie until the end when we see those two aunties on that shuttle on their little excursion. So I wasn't expecting that either. I was really expecting this to be like a a romantic comedy that had Black people in it. But really, what it is a movie about a young, because I think she's supposed to be in her 20s, right? It's a young Black girl from New York whose mom has passed away. She jets off to Italy, ends up staying in this man's villa, the man that she met at the bar. She stays in his villa. But before she starts staying in his villa, she runs into her love interest at the sandwich place. When he tells her, oh, girl, it ain't no place for you to stay here because we've got this big festival going on. Did you not look that up before you came? Hallie then is like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Oh, that's right. I remember homeboy from the bar in New York told me he has a whole home here that's not being used. Like he's never there, right? She goes, she lets herself in. She's literally staying there. Finds an engagement ring in this man's drawer in his room, right? Puts on the engagement ring. While she's in there twirling and girling, people end up coming into the house. Like his mom and his grandma end up coming to the house because they gonna clean up his house that he is apparently never in. They come in there to start cleaning. Of course, they run into Hallie. They spot the engagement ring. She lies and says they're engaged. They take a moment to kind of like take all that in because they're like, really, Mateo don't even be coming home like that. He really doesn't even come home like that. So what do you mean you're his fiance and you're here? Right? As things tend to happen in these romantic comedy movies, they take her in, they're taking her to see all the sights. She ends up learning, and what is his name in this movie? Huh? Because I don't even watch Bridgerton, so I don't know what his name is on there. And I know his real government name is, what is it? I know y'all are going to eat me up for not knowing. What is his name? And I can't even find my phone. Oh, I'm going to look it up. But she ends up learning that he owns a winery, like a vineyard there that was passed down to him from his parents. Of course, fast forward it, they end up really liking each other, end up falling in love. Mateo ends up coming. He co-signs the lie, and you know, the craziness of what you can expect ensues. She hasn't really been cooking, even though she went to culinary school, she hasn't really been cooking since her mom passed because her mom was a chef. They end up getting her in a situation where they ask her to cook. The food is really good. Everybody is happy, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward to the end, and her love interest, whose name I'm going to look up, they end up falling in love and like being together at the end. What is his name in the movie? His real name is, how do y'all say his name? Oh, I know I'm going to butcher it. It's either Rage or Rage. Jean Page. Oh, I know I probably ate that up. But he plays Michael. That's his name in the movie. God, how did I not remember that when literally two Michaels live in my house? That is something. That probably says a lot. Maybe I need to unpack that. Anyway, they end up together at the end of the movie. And I just kind of feel like if I had to compare that movie to something, it probably would be My Big Fat Greek Wedding, but not for all of the reasons that you would think. It's just kind of like the vibes, like the over the topness and the silliness of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's kind of what I got from You, Me, and Tuscany. But because I was so surprised at some of the other elements to her character and maybe the plot of the movie, I literally did have to watch it that second time with a different level of expectations. And so when I watched it the second time, I was like, okay, this is cute. Me and a friend both agreed this is some good background movie noise that you just put on when you're cleaning or you're cooking or you just need the TV on, but you're not really going to watch it. That'll be a good movie for you to do that with. I wish there had been more of a story around her and her love of cooking. I wish they would have like played into that a little bit more, helping her maybe reconnect with the story about her mom. And I really wish the love triangle part of it would have just been like a whole like subplot, because they really had an opportunity there for the food to be one of the main characters in the movie. And I think she would have really excelled with that character had that been how they wrote it. But unfortunately, that's not how it went. But like I said, whatever. Her next movie will be there. Now, her sister has a show, or is it a show? I think it's a movie coming out on Peacock. that looks really good. The name of it is Strung. Chloe Bailey stars in the psychological thriller Strung. She plays a gifted violinist who takes a prestigious music tutoring job for an enigmatic, wealthy family. The mama is Lynn Whitfield, only to uncover dangerous secrets that threaten her safety and sanity. I can't wait. Now, the trailer for that looks really good. And anytime Lynn Whitfield is the matriarch, we already know it's going to be some mess because Lynn Whitfield don't play and she kind of crazy. So I fully expect that to be exactly what it's going to be based on what we saw in the trailer. So we'll look out for that. I also watched the Crash documentary on Netflix. That has been getting a lot of I think, a lot of attention because people feel like there's an alternate way that that situation could have played out. And I don't understand that based on the documentary we saw on Netflix. And then because I like to come to you somewhat prepared for these conversations and I'm trying to get better about it. So I said, ooh, let me sit down and also watch the other documentaries that have been done on this story. There's one on Hulu and there's one on HBO Max. You don't have to watch them. I did it for you. Now, all three documentaries basically have the same footage, and they all have that same bald-headed detective who is really sick of this girl. But what the other documentaries show is evidence that Netflix just decided, I guess, they wasn't going to include. I think Netflix's main objective with their documentary was to paint her and her family in a very awful light. And if that was their goal, they definitely succeeded. But what these other documentaries show is actual evidence that point to a crime. Like, for example, that girl had visited that route or like had driven that route days before the crash, right? She and that guy had been living together. And this is the part that I was like, what? I don't know if this is, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't like to judge people for their parenting decisions, but I have a 15-year-old. And I can't imagine, number one, allowing her to date someone who is so much older than her. But apparently, they started dating when that guy was a senior and she was a freshman, which would have been a red flag for me because I would have said to my child, that boy is about to go to college next year. You will still be in high school. Why would he want to date you? Like, he's about to go and be living in a whole new world, right? So that would have been a red flag for me. But, the parents say he had money. He was always really good to her. They had started cooking meals together, whatever, whatever. So by the time she was 17 and I think he was 20, they let her move in with him. So now there is no parental supervision. So now they are playing house, right? They are playing house. Neither one of them are mature enough to even be doing that, right? So, of course, they fight back and forth like I'm sure kids do, right? They have arguments, they break up, they get back together, they break up, they get back together. She's on social media, you know, doing what kids her age do, making videos, talking about different things, smoking, whatever. Her parents are seeing it, they're engaging with her content, they are super supportive, whatever. They don't care about none of that stuff. They start having problems in their relationship. He tells his mom, like, hey, sometimes when we're in the car, she be acting crazy. Like, she starts driving crazy and kind of like threatening my life. Fast forward, boom, they have the crash. Now, what is unfortunate about that is that while we don't know what was going on with them as a couple before the crash, like whatever led up to it, what we do know is that there was another kid in that car with them in the back seat who also passed away, who had nothing to do with their relationship. He was the best friend of her boyfriend. She tries to say that it was an accident. Like she didn't mean to crash the car. Her mom said it was due to a medical situation that her daughter has that I don't think was ever officially diagnosed, but she tries to blame it on her having POTS. The parents also say that, like she's a good kid, she's this, she's that. But then when you look at the other documentaries definitely lay it out for you that, like, no, that little girl was a terror at school. They had other kids from school like, well, not really testify, but do like a confessional, let's call it that. Like, do confessionals saying, like, where that girl had bullied them. This is how she acts at school. Teachers have issues with her. Like, she was a behavior problem. So the fact that she did this didn't surprise anybody. I will tell you what I think probably happened. I think her and her boyfriend probably got into some type of argument, or she was mad at him, whatever, and she crashed that car on purpose. I think that she just thought she was also going to die. And so there would be no fallout from this. When she actually survived the accident and the both of them died, she realized she was screwed. But I think she thought, because she was a young, and let's be honest, she was a young white girl. I really think in her and her parents' mind, they thought that there would be some way that they were going to beat this. I don't think they ever thought that anyone would ever see it as more as a car accident. I don't think they ever thought for one second that proper charges would get brought up against her. And you know that because when she gets arrested, that girl looks shocked. Like, she looks, I'll put it to you like this. After the crash, she had some medical things that she had to go through. Like, she had surgeries. She had to do a lot of healing. I want to say she had injury to her neck, injury to both of her legs, but like, she had the surgeries, she healed from them, and she was right back. She was right back outside. She was going to parties. She was doing Halloween. She was back on social media. She was living it up as an 18-year-old probably would be. But the only difference is most 18-year-olds have not killed two people. So you would think, and this is how you know she wasn't mature enough to be living with him in the first place. And you also want to just say her parents cannot possibly be the brightest crayons in the box. Because let's say that happens, right? The first thing I'm gonna tell my kid is, oh, baby, you're not going nowhere. Because them people, they looking for you. And they looking for you to be doing some stuff you ain't got no business. And you don't need to give them any reason to be looking at you in a way that is anything other than mournful, like you're grieving. And if you're not, that's how you gonna act. You about to stay off social media. That's what you're about to do. You're going to stay home and you're going to stay off social media. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and scrub that, scrub your social media clean, honey, because right now what they're also going to do is go through all your little videos. And if any of them look like videos that can paint you in a bad light, that's what they're going to filter through your stuff, and they're going to pull those. And that's exactly what they did. In her court case, they played old videos that she had made that made her look really bad. But, you know, unfortunately, that combined with some of the things that the other students had said, some of the things that the teachers had written up and that were on file, like at the school, like she just was a little troublemaker. And so then at the end of the documentary, when they show her in jail, she's talking about the whole situation. She doesn't really remember anything. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. If you go online, you can hear phone calls between her and her mom. She remembers everything. That little girl meant to do that. She just didn't think she was going to live through it. And I bet had she known, oh, I'm going to survive this, but they're going to die, I think she probably was or is smart enough to make a different choice if she knew she was going to survive the crash. But I thought that whole thing was interesting. That case has a really good judge, and the judge did call out the parents every time they would try to make an excuse for the daughter or they tried to minimize something that the judge quickly called them out for it. I don't know. People seem to think that if she would have had a jury trial instead of just having the case presented in front of a judge, that maybe she would have had a different outcome. And I believe that, because it only takes one juror for your case to like get tossed out or be a mistrial or whatever. And I believe that if she would have had a jury, she probably would have gotten off, because based on the comments and the things that I've been reading online that people are saying, it's enough people out there that really do think, oh, it was probably an accident, or oh, this, or oh, they probably would have forgiven her or whatever. But she ended up getting 15 years to life for each guy. But of course, she's serving that sentence concurrently. So, yeah. And I think she's up for parole sometime soon, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully they keep her little badass in jail, cuz yeah, you are at this point, that girl might be what, like 19 or 20 by now? She might be 19 or 20 by now, but I don't think it's been long enough for her to even be rehabilitated in the least bit. And we know that based on them phone calls she having with her mama. So, something that has happened recently that I wanted to talk about here, because I don't know how many people follow him online or like see his stuff, but I would like to believe everybody knows Keith Lee, the food influencer. You know, he started out sitting on that Paw Patrol chair, rating and reviewing food, and now it's like the Keith Lee like family empire, goes on food tours. Apparently, he has some type of reality TV show that's on Tubi. Is it Tubi? I don't know. But I said I was going to watch it because I enjoy his food tours and I like his food reviews. He recently had a food festival in New Orleans. 20,000 people came. So far, all of the videos that I have seen about it have nothing but good things to say. Next year, the food festival will be in Chicago. But there were a couple things that people kept highlighting about the food festival. It's only like two things. And again, this is where I'm like, I don't know if as a society, we are where we need to be. And there are so many things that make that evident. But the two things I'm about to say, literally every time I would see someone say this in their review, I wanted to reach through my phone screen and punch them in the face, because how is this Keith Lee's problem? If you buy a ticket to a food festival and you know the food festival is going to have roughly 20,000 people there, why are you upset or mad or surprised when there is a line to get food? Also, if you know the food festival is in New Orleans, Louisiana, and you know that the food festival is going to happen in May, why are you upset or blaming Keith Lee that it is hot outside? Because while I am not from Louisiana, one thing I do know is that if it's May and you happen to find yourself in Louisiana during the month of May, the likelihood that it's going to be hot, baby, the chance is very high. You're probably not going to be able to escape the heat even if you wanted to. But those were the two main things that people kept trying to knock him for. And I'm like, oh, but you knew it was in New Orleans when you bought that ticket, and you knew it was a food festival where they would have all these different food vendors, and surely you just knew you would have to stand in a line. I would like to say that it's probably very similar to going to a fair. Like you go to the state fair, and when people go to the state fair, they're not there to ride the rides. People go for the food. And when you go to the state fair, you buy a ticket. You go inside and you are expecting there to be lines for the food. And depending on where you live, you're probably also expecting it to be hot. I live in Georgia, but I always go to the fair in South Carolina because that's where my mama lives. And when we go, even though the fair is in October, girl, it's still hot. It's still hot because sometimes the South get cold and sometimes it don't. Like sometimes we get a winter and sometimes we don't. And if we do get a winter, sometimes it's not until well after Thanksgiving that it'll get cold. So if you buy a ticket to an outdoor event in the South and it is anywhere between March and November, the chance that it's going to be hot is probably like an absolute. Like there is no chance. It's absolutely probably going to be hot. And if you should happen to fall into some cooler weather or weather that's pleasant and nice, oh, well, girl, that's a blessing. And you be thankful for that as you stand in line to get this food that you bought a ticket to come eat, to come try it out so that you too could buy it, try it, and rate it 1 through 10 like Keith, because that's what you paid to come do. Those videos were literally driving me crazy because I'm like, how are these things his problem? I don't get it. That would be like me buying a ticket to go to a Beyonce concert. And you always know we use her for an example because she's the standard. That would be like me paying my money to go see her, knowing it's going to be an outdoor festival. I know it's going to be outside. And let's say the festival happens to be in Louisiana. That would be like me getting to that Beyonce concert and being mad that I had to stand in line to buy merch, and then being mad that the concert was outside because it's hot and Beyonce is the only one with fans. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, people have truly, I feel like, lost the plot in a lot of the big ways, but certainly also in a lot of the small ways too. And if we are about to start being people who complain about standing in line at festivals or being outside at a festival, oh, honey, I'm not sure if this is the generation of people that did, in fact, get left behind when George Bush pulled that crap, or if, like, how my kids say social media is brain rot. And they always joke that, like, oh, if you spend too much time on social media, your brain is going to rot. I don't know if it's that. I really don't know what it is. But somewhere, some of the dots are just not connecting, and we have got to do better. Because how is that going to be part of what you are complaining about? Bonnet down, legs up. Bonnet down, legs up. Now, I don't have a landlord, but I do have a handyman. When my handyman comes to my house, I'm normally always here. Well, yeah, I'm kind of always here. There have been a couple times where I haven't been here, but I trust my handyman. I trust that if he had to come do some work around my house, that my cameras would not catch him in a bonnet down, legs up situation. I would expect that he would come in here, fix all of the things, address the things, do the things, and then he would just leave. I would not expect to see my handyman butt ass naked on film in my house with a lady friend, bonnet down, legs up. And when those legs go up, I'm not expecting to see all black, good grip Skechers. I'm not expecting that. I am not expecting to see her bust it wide open while he's supposed to be fixing all of the things in my house. Sir, how often have you done this? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it was on the news. Atlanta is never beating any of the allegations from anybody, because every time I turn around, it's some mess on the news. And this happens to be some of the more lighthearted mess that's been on the news lately. But what do you mean? You've done this before. This is not y'all's first bonnet down, legs up situation. And I have so many questions. Number one, how do you become that comfortable in somebody else's house that you are going to take off all of your clothes? When I mean to tell you, he took off all of his clothes. Now, he might still have his shoes on, but he didn't have on nothing else. They had to blur him out in the news report for this. Her face is never shown in the video, and we like that for our good sis, don't we? I'm scooping my non-existent hair behind my ear. We like that no face, no case for our good sis. But my sister, My sister in bonnet down, legs up, because we've all been there before. We've all been in a bonnet down, legs up situation. Many a time have we had our bonnets down and our legs up, but it's never been in a stranger's house. It's never been in a stranger's house. So I have so many questions. Were you going to see him like on your lunch break? Or is that like your sneaky link? Is he having an affair? Why y'all have to do that in them people's house? Are y'all married and this is just how you keep it spicy? I have so many questions. And then the news reporter, cute as a button, pregnant as pie, goes to the landlord's home and confronts him because Atlanta. One thing about these reporters in Atlanta, I think this was Fox 5. Fox 5 said, there's no shame here. That, yeah, we might be Fox, but we ain't that Fox. We pulling up. They pull up at the man's house. He happens to be outside in his garage. And she's like, tell me more about this. Like, is this something you do? Like, and of course, he's like, I'm not answering any questions. And he hightails it back inside his house. But I'm like, I have to know more about this because what do you mean you met him or were you like riding around with him all day as he went to check on all his properties, which the people that live in the house said that they had contacted him to fix something. I want to say it was in the attic, maybe. They had contacted him to fix something and they watched it live. Like they watched that live on the security footage in the app on their phone. They saw it as it was happening. Are you kidding me? He said his wife was so disgusted by what she saw that she was like, before I even come home, you need to sanitize all of that. Like you need to clean all of that before I come back up in here. He had on a mask. And I don't know if he had on a mask because the reporter was pregnant, which is so respectful. So maybe that's why he had on the mask. But also maybe he had on the mask because they might be germaphobes and ill. Are you kidding me? I cannot even imagine the sweat and the juices that were probably left down behind that bonnet down, legs up situation. Now, if that news reporter does not get an Emmy for this particular, because they do give out Emmys to the little local news stations. If she doesn't get an Emmy for that tagline, we are worse off than I thought. Because when she said bonnet down, legs up, I said, "Oh, that's the way I like to." Are you kidding me? This cannot be their first time doing this. They were too comfortable. They were too comfortable. Too comfortable. But I bet you it'll be the last time they do it. Because, yeah, why wouldn't you think that people have security systems? Why wouldn't you think that? Why? Why would you expect to be able to keep doing this in people's homes and never get caught? Really, it's the audacity for me. It's the audacity in that bonnet. It's the audacity in the landlord. It's the audacity in those good grip Skechers. It's the audacity in a lot of it. It is the audacity for me. Ew. Or as that girl on TikTok says, yuck. Ugh. Hilarious. If you have not seen that, I shared it in Instagram, in an Instagram story. I'll try to reshare it again for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about. Hilarious. And sometimes you like living in Atlanta and sometimes you don't, but this is one of the times where you're like, yeah, of course this would be on the 5 o'clock news, right up there with some of the mess that's happening on the Beltline and over in Decatur at First Watch, which I will not be talking about those things because they are both heavily traumatic. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look up both of those situations on your own. Wanda Sykes has a new comedy special on Netflix. I'm going to pull that up and give us the details about that. Oh, and you know what else is about to be on Netflix on June 3rd? A documentary about Michael Jackson and his court case. I'm like, oh, people are really just awful. I think they're trying to ride the wave of his movie being so successful. But I'm like, I wonder what his kids think about that. I guess it's nothing they can really think about it because what can you do? But I'm like, why, after all this time, would you do a documentary about the verdict in the Michael Jackson case, if for no other reason of just pure greed? Because you know that movie was coming out, you knew that movie would be a hit. Now let's go ahead and slide this documentary out here while everyone is still thinking about him, because maybe some of his fans might be interested enough to like watch it. I hope when it comes out, nobody watches it. But anyway, Wanda Sykes, her comedy special is called Legacy. Wanda Sykes returns to her alma mater with a fearlessly funny takedown of everything from the state of the world to the cultural clash over washcloths. I don't know if you guys enjoy Wanda Sykes. I do. And so I will be watching that one. We already talked about Chloe Bailey's new show coming out on Peacock. I think people said the show MIA on Peacock. They said that is also good. And there's a movie on Netflix called Hoax, The Kidnapping of Sherry Papini. A woman missing for weeks returns and claims she survived brutal captivity, but inconsistencies surfaced during the investigation based on a true story. It is currently number 6 in movies on Netflix, and I will be watching this because it's giving Lifetime feels. So maybe some people have already seen it, but girl, it's new to me. So I will definitely be watching that. And I think that's it, girl. I think that's all that I have. Ooh, I'm getting text messages. I think that's all that I have for us for today. Thank you for joining me at my table. Remember, when you're out, compliment a woman, say something nice to her, make her day, make her smile. Don't compete, don't compare, don't complain. What God has for you is for you, and never knock another woman's hustle. I'll talk to you again real soon. Love you, girl. Bye.